This is the story of Carlos, a street flamenco guitarist in Palma de Mallorca. His unique style of playing, his struggles with the authorities, and his battling health issues. In the summer of 2024, Carlos underwent an operation to remove a tumour from his arm. It became infected. He had gangrene. His right arm is close to being amputated. Carlos has been playing the bars and squares for 25 years.
I knew I'd break my tibia and my fibula, but anyway I thought, oh maybe, but yeah, I broke my tibia.
Did you hear about his arm?
No, he doesn't.
No, not heard about his arm.
Listen to it. His arm was almost amputated.
Oh look, now it was bleeding a little bit. It's much
Are you
better, but
serious?
I saw something, yeah, and that was bleeding a little bit. Yeah.
They nearly even cut his arm off.
Yeah, I know, in June.
And then he had some antibiotics, allergic reaction.
Because a bacteria in the quirófano.
Look at his fucking arm.
But this is nothing, this is...
So, what did you fall off with that?
Because I had a tumor in my arm. 18th June, they operated me, they make it, and it was 5 centimeters for 3 centimeters and this deep. You could put this finger inside. But in the quirófano, the place, the room where they make the surgery. Yeah. Okay, I got a bacteria. And the antibiotic against the bacteria made me an allergy, and I had all my body, my face, even
reaction
everywhere. And yeah, it was worse than the tumor itself. But they were very close to it. I had it here. They were.
They
very
nearly
close
cut his.
Yes,
oh.
They sent me after that. They sent me in September, when last day I went there. They said we were very close. If it arrives to the bone, we have to cut it. And I was really scared because I had a black round here. I knew it was because the tumor was so big that the blood was not arriving to the skin. I knew it was only anaerobic. It was I had no air, blood, oxygen in my skin because the small veins didn't arrive. But anyway, I thought if it's gangrena, if it should be gangrena, I know it was not. But I mean, you have a gangrena here, they cut you here, because you see this black. But here inside, you don't see it, but the gangrene arrives to here. They don't cut you only this, they cut you this. Yeah. Then I was thinking, if it's gangrena, I was 7 hours in emergencies waiting. I arrived at 4 p.m.
Well, how long ago was this? How long ago?
18th June.
This year?
Yeah, July, August, September, October, November, 5 months ago.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I was 7 hours in emergencies. I arrived at 4 p.m. I was at 1 a.m. I was in the boxes of emergencies. 1 hour later, a nurse saw me and said, a doctor has to see that, and the doctor take 1 more hour into arriving. When the doctor saw it, he said me, don't eat, nothing. In some hours we were gonna operate your arm, and at 9 o'clock I was going into
theater.
And I spent 3 weeks in the hospital, especially because the bacteria, especially. But then they said me, you gotta go every day to a small hospital beside your house to cure it. And every week or every 10 days I had to go to hospital, and suddenly I have 2 more new tumors. And then they send me twice a week in the hospital, and every day to the small hospital. They cut me, but only not in only they sleep only this. They were small still, and they cut it nothing. I could see that how they did it, and they had to make me skin
graft.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was born in Palma, in a hospital clinical Roger.
And where did you learn to play guitar?
I'm self-didact. I learned by myself alone.
But you were in the army, no?
Well, yeah, I was because in my age, all the Spanish of my age, we had to go 1 year or some months to the army, and then I was in the tanks and then in Barcelona, but there were a lot of Andalusian people, and then that's where I get in contact with flamenco, because before I didn't like flamenco.
But this style of flamenco that you play, is it a particular style of flamenco? Or?
Well, let's say it's a really traditional one. I play ancient things, but and modern things as well, but not as modern as Gypsy Kings.
Improvise.
Yeah, like a bit of improvisational. But also there are songs or themes. They are of what's traditional flamenco.
Yeah.
You know, I play some Gypsy Kings and all that stuff, but I play. You know, in flamenco we have different. You know, it's not a style.
Of
When
course.
you play flamenco, we have things named bulerías, rumba, tangos, tientos, tarantos, sevillanas, alegrías, soleares, peteneras. There are about 50 or 60 different
Types.
types. Yeah, I mean, when you play flamenco, you have to play it all.
Yeah.
The only thing is that every of these things, they have their own rhythm and their own tonality.
Yes.
You play, we have in flamenco also particular rhythms
Yes.
that are not in other musics.
Yes.
We have 3 beats, 4 beats,
Yes.
2 beats, 6 beats, like all the Western music, but we also have 12 beats when it's a special flamenco style. And then if you play these 12 beats in a major tonality, you play alegrías. If you play these 12 beats in a particularly flamenco scale, which is Phrygian or Doric flamenco scale, you play soleares. I mean, the only thing is that last times people are playing especially rumbas, tangos, and bulerías, and many of these styles are beginning to be forgotten. And I play all these styles.
Also.
I love it.
Carlos, the other thing is the multas you have. You have 30,000 euros of multas that you have to pay to the Ayuntamiento because you have not registered.
Yeah, I have no license. You need a license just for basking.
Yeah.
But also the license makes no sense because with the license you can play upside the stairs in La Lonja or in Santa Catarina. You can only play from the stairs to Plaza la Reina. But Lux is playing there because you can neither play in the terraces. You have to play in the middle of the street, and it's supposed that you can only play 20 minutes.
Okay.
And even if you are playing in the middle of the street 20 minutes and somebody's complaining, you gotta go. The only difference is that they are not putting you a fine.
Yeah.
If you have the license, then you gotta go.
Yeah.
But who is guilty of this? Of course, the city hall, of course, the policía local, but also some neighbors. They came here to live to this area.
Yes, they complain.
And they complain of
Denuncias.
music and also of terraces.
Yeah.
So in that places where we can play, also the terraces, they have to be not closing. They have to be off at 11 p.m., which is big damage for the restaurants, especially in August, July, which is dark at 9:30.
Yeah.
And if somebody arrives at 10 for having dinner in the terrace, they have to say no because he mustn't finish at 11. At 11 he has to be gone. The tables and the chairs, they have to be inside already. And otherwise they have a 3,500 euros fine. But also, this girl, they made an association for musicians, and if you don't belong to this association, you don't have the license, and if you belong, you have it. And then she goes. The other day she came, I was beginning and said, oh no, listen, I play and then you play. What? Yeah, I have the license, you don't. And they listen. Next day she said me, hey, listen, every time you come, if I come after, I have to play before you. I said, what? Yeah, because I have the license.
But you're a resident from here. You were born here.
I said her, listen, and never, I never ever said anybody, hey, you are an immigrant, you're whatever, never ever. But come on, I was born 100 meters from here, and don't come from Argentina, or I mean, even if the same hospital I was born, to say me, I have a license, you don't have license. No, because not. You have the license for the musician, to be a policeman. You know what I mean? And it's awful to do this, to go to the musicians. And I know she's calling the police every time she sees a guy playing without the license, you know, and this is terrible, terrible. Gracias. All right, ready. Thank you very much.
Carlos owes over 30,000 euros to the authorities for playing traditional flamenco in the street and entertaining tourists.